Good evening, Love Twin Cities 2023 outreach leaders, messengers of the gospel extraordinaire. So thank you again for helping to shepherd our messengers to share Jesus Christ with the lost. I wanted to run over a few logistical points here just so everyone is best prepared for this task. First and foremost, I noticed that about 75% of us are not registered for Love Twin Cities yourselves. And so I registered you for the specific outreaches that each of you are leading, but I did not register you for Love Twin Cities. And again, I'd sent out a text here last week asking you to do that, so that still needs to be done. And the reason why is that way you're going to be receiving emails and other correspondence automatically. If you're not registered for Love Twin Cities, then you don't receive that. And especially as an outreach leader, I need you to be aware of any changes or circumstances. So the easiest way for you to register right now is to text LTC to 844-675-0180. And when you do that, you'll receive a text back, and as you fill that out, it's going to ask for your name and email and cell phone, some other questions like that. And then once you do that, then you receive a confirmation email where you can register for the different outreaches. And so again, I have registered you for the ones you're leading, but I would strongly encourage you, all of us, to sign up for outreaches just as participants. And that way, quite honestly, we don't have to worry about leaving people in the woods or people getting eaten by sharks, and we can just go out and share Jesus. Sometimes it's even more fun to do that. So please register for additional outreaches there too. We have a total of 50. But then also the text that I sent last week, I had asked for everyone's help to recruit messengers for each of our outreaches. And specifically, what I'm asking each of you to do is to recruit a minimum of six people for each of your outreaches. And again, please encourage them to sign up for other outreaches there too. But you are the best person to recruit people for yours. And so maybe these are your friends or other ministry partners, your coworkers, family, etc., but minimally 6. And so that same way for them to text LTC to 844-675-0180 is the easiest way for them to register for Love Twin Cities. And then again, after that, they would sign up for the individual outreaches themselves. So once you do that, then your name will be in the database for Love Twin Cities. And so when you arrive at the church at River of Hope Church, also the Truth and Freedom congregation meets in that same building, is 3300 University Avenue Southeast, Minneapolis, 55414. When you arrive there for your outreach, the first time, they're going to have you read through the outreach rules of engagement. And basically, each of the participants are required to read through and sign and date that. There's also affirmation of faith, but includes things like report times, area of operation, team configuration. It would be good, obviously, for you guys to read that and know that, just so you know those guidelines of how to enforce those guidelines. And then after you sign and date that page, you're going to get a wristband. And so it's either going to be white like this or possibly red. One of those are for the naughty people. Mine's white, so you can kind of guess which one that is. But white or red, and that wristband then is your authorization to be in the church. And so when you come in the church on subsequent times, you wouldn't necessarily need to register or even stop at the admin desk. You would just show them your wristband, and that's basically your authorization to be in the church. Once you arrive, and please arrive early. So again, if your outreach is say 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., please be there by 3:30. You will have people getting there early, and then that way you can, make sure that you're prepared, make sure you have all the materials that you would need. The brief and debrief room is to the left of the sanctuary past the cafe. There'll be signage, or again, if you ask anyone there, that is where you're going to be meeting your outreach participants to begin with. And so they're going to arrive there, and usually for the first couple minutes, you're going to go through kind of a welcoming and maybe make some small talk and like that to get people feeling comfortable. But then by 4:05 for sure, you want to make sure that you're starting with the process. And basically on that sheet, there's going to be a sheet for each of the outreaches that looks like this. There will be 2 piles, one for outreaches that are upcoming, and yours should be on the top of that. And then there will be a second pile for outreaches that are completed. And so on that sheet would be the outreach number and the date and the time, the name of the outreach, brief description, and then should be your name and cell phone as the outreach leader. Then will be a target destination, where you will be going, be that Como Zoo or the Lake Street Midtown Station, the name and address where you're going to be going to will be there too, and then the schedule. And so typically, as an overview, as we're starting out, is going to be the time of briefing and prayer, and generally it's about a half an hour. I'll run through that in just a moment in more detail. But then after that is a time of worship, where we're coming before the Lord and consecrating ourselves before each outreach, getting filled up so that we can give that away. And so that worship time is typically at least 45 minutes. There is time for travel, whether that's by car or some of the outreaches you're walking across the street to Valhalla Place, or you're going on the Green Line light rail. So again, that will be in the description of how you might be getting to those locations. For that, the transit stop for the light rail is the Westgate Transit Station. Again, it's on the Green Line, and depending on the time of the day, the fare for each one of those would be either $2 or $2.50, and would be good for a 2.5 hour time, so that should last the entire duration of your outreach. For that though, we have the outreach itself, outreach proper, and then travel back to the church, and then the time of debrief, where we're basically going over testimonials and sharing people's names to be praying for, filling out the outreach report card that would look like this. And so for that, again, on the briefing, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure to write your name and cell phone number on the whiteboard. I would also write the target address. You're going to pair messages together, and again, generally speaking, that would be women with women and guys with guys, unless it's a married couple. The only caveat to that is that if it should be, say, later at night or into a rougher area, perhaps that may change a little bit at your discretion, but perhaps that's one guy with 2 women, or 2 women paired and 2 guys paired, but then the 4 of them are kind of staying together. It just has an added layer of security. But for the vast majority of outreaches, again, would be women with women and guys with guys. So you're going to pair them together, make sure they exchange cell phone numbers, the pair does. And you could arrange for carpooling if, again, it's a car that you'll be taking, a car or cars arrange for the carpooling there. I would definitely recommend that if Johnny is going in car A on the way there, that he definitely is coming in that same car on the way back. And that way, again, just as another safety precaution to make sure that we're not leaving someone in the water to get eaten by a shark, as it is. And then we're kind of describing to the team, what the outreach looks like, the type of people we'll probably encounter, any other kind of logistical things. We're definitely praying during that time there too. And then you're gonna get the ammo. And again, the ammo, as I would expect everyone is familiar, would be things like Bibles or New Testaments, the Father's Love Letter, Our Daily Bread, How to Know God Without Being Religious, etc. And I think all of those are available both in English and Spanish there too. And so after you've got the ammo, then you're going to go into the time of worship. And again, the timelines would be on that page, but you're going to be in charge of watching the clock. When it's closer to the finish time, you can connect with the individual that's in charge of the altar right there, and he or she can be praying you out, or if there's the LTC pastor, he or she is available to pray you out, that would be wonderful there too. And so definitely have people go to the restroom before you leave would be a wise choice. And then as you're going on the outreach, I would definitely make sure you're counting how many people are there. There'll be a sign-in sheet with each packet. Make sure that everyone signs their name and cell phone number on there, and then do a head count before you leave, and then for sure a head count before you're returning, just to make sure that everyone is accounted for. Again, make sure everybody has your name and number from the whiteboard there too. As you're coming back, then again, you're going to do that debrief as I shared. And so again, that's where you're describing what happened on the outreach, people specifically to be praying for, testimonials, how to basically encourage one another. And you're going to be filling out that report card, as I said earlier. And on here, what you're going to have is you're going to have each pair is going to fill out one card, so the numbers don't get duplicated. So the both messengers, their names and cell phone numbers should be on the card, and then they're going to fill out the number of people engaged, the number who heard the gospel or a testimony, people prayed for, people given evangelism materials, number of people healed, and there's a spot for writing the specific healing, and then also the number of people who surrendered their life to Christ or recommitted their lives. And so for those people, again, who had surrendered or recommitted, we'll definitely want to make sure we're getting the contact information there too. And so on the back of the card, you could write their names, their full names, cell phone numbers, perhaps if they have a Facebook Messenger name or email, just as a way to follow up with them. We will be clearly having follow-up and discipleship, and then that will just help us keep track of who those people are. Very importantly, you're going to have each pair fill out that card, and then you, as the outreach leader, are going to take and add up all those numbers and take a blank card, and on that blank card I would write the name of your outreach and the number of the outreach and the date. There's a couple outreaches that are happening at different times during the week, and so outreach name, number of the outreach, 1 through 50, and the date. And then you're going to total all those up, and you're going to staple that together with the total on top. And then very importantly, what I need you to do is take a picture of that top total card and text it to me at 612-386-0333. My name and number is on every sheet here, so you'll have that. But I need you to text me that picture before you leave the church. I need to do the stats for this every day, and I wake up at 5. And so if I don't have your picture, I'm calling you at 5:03. So if you want to chat real early in the morning, while we're probably both a little grumpy, then just forget to do that. Otherwise, to be serious, really that will help me out immeasurably if you can make sure and send me that picture, just so I have that documentation. Also on the sheet is a reminder to, while we're out, to invite people to our final outreach, which is Team Jesus at Minnehaha Falls on Saturday the 24th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Also, there's information on, we have a foundations class, basically a Bible kind of Bible study, or kind of the beginnings of the journey of someone walking with Jesus. Who is the Holy Spirit? What is baptism? What is prayer? Some of those fundamental Christian beliefs, just so people have a good grid as they're walking this out. And that will be at Zachary Church in Brooklyn Park on Fridays from 5:30 to 7 p.m. And Oksana's name and number is on there as a reference for that. Also on the sheet is the address for River of Hope. And then again, as I shared, Truth and Freedom Church meets in that same building. They're both at 3300 University Avenue Southeast. And pastors' names and numbers and the service times are on that same sheet there too. So that one sheet is going to give you an overview of kind of all the specifics that you need. Stapled to that will be some instructions both for the brief and the debrief, and then also the sign-in sheet. And you definitely need to make sure that everyone is signed in. I need you to do that head count before you leave the church, the head count before you come back to the church. Make sure you have that. And so some people take the packet with them on the outreach. The other thing you could do is to take a picture of the front page and the sign-in sheet and leave the packet at the church, but that's at your discretion. But I definitely need that packet back, plus the stapled outreach report cards with the totals on the top. Hopefully all that was clear. From that, again, as kind of a recap, please make sure that you're registered yourself for Love Twin Cities. The majority of you are not. There is correspondence that you'll be getting emailed of changes or reminders, and if you're not signed up, you don't get those. And as the outreach leader, you have to have those. Please recruit minimally 6 people. You can recruit more, but minimally 6 for your outreach. Have them sign up for other outreaches there too, and please also do that yourself. Again, if you have any questions about any of this at all, my cell is 612-386-0333. And again, my name and number are on that top sheet of your packet. So if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out to me that way. Thank you again, and God bless.